Like now, I saw some boy in New Zealand who was really about to be dead. And when he came back, I found the attitude towards him was not kind, as it should have been. But this is the best chance where you should see how you can practice your compassion. We talk of compassion, compassion. Now let us see how we can practice our compassion when this boy is so sick. On the contrary, everybody was harsh on him, were passing remarks at him, doing things like that. Because we have to have compassion. Now mother has said we have to have compassion. Now where do you have our compassion? On the walls, where do we use our compassion? Where do we use our compassion? So Sahaja Yoga is to be practiced doesn't mean that you sit down with my photograph all the time. Doesn't mean that. It means you practice compassion. You practice that. Then you have to practice love. Now how do you practice love with others? If you love someone, what do? You try to please that person. Small things can make people very happy. I know you all try to please me very much. You'll give me presents, you'll find out things which are good for me, you'll go out of the way, buy sweet flowers for me. Beautiful things you do to please me. I am over pleased, I must tell you. But I am more pleased, much more pleased, if you understand collectivity and try to please each other. Such a person pleases me the most, that the attention is more on pleasing each other. As soon as you decide you have to please others, your tongue will become different. It will become a sweet tongue. The tongue which was like a pair of scissors becomes such a beautiful thing of honey. Then you talk little, but you really pour honey on another person, and another person really enjoys it. So now the practice love, where do you practice? Ask you a question. Where do I practice love? What do I love? We love our house, we love our photographs, our decorations, everything. But do I practice this love on my wife or on my husband or on other surgeries? In our search culture, we have to practice compassion and love. And thirdly, we have to practice patience. I know some children are maybe little more mischievous, some are less mischievous. Maybe some people are very talkative. Sometimes really they give me also a headache. They go on talking so much. Sometimes I think it's good because it's a rest for my mouth. One way of looking at it. Another way of looking at it is just switch off your mind, let him talk, take it out, whatever he wants to talk. Once he is finished with it and fagged out, then he won't bother you much. And also he'll feel satisfied that somebody has listened to his practice. So patience is needed. And patience is needed in such a way that others should see your patience. Yesterday, for example, I was sitting for about, 3 hours shaking hands with all sorts of people and all types of problems. And the person who came last, he said, looking at your patience, I developed my own patience. And love gives you patience. This love nourishes you. I'm telling you, it's absolutely down to earth method. Here I have not mentioned that you trust God. I'm just saying trust yourself. Absolutely down to earth, because we are talking about your brain. Now we have been saying that we have to forgive everyone. But we don't practice that. Small, small things like mad people we remember. Only I had heard that snake has this capacity to remember if somebody has hurt him. But here I find human beings have no less capacity. Whatever has happened 13 years back, 15 years back, they all remember each and everything. Whatever has hurt them. But how they have hurt others, they don't remember. How they have been nasty to others, don't remember. Because this is a human mind which has got the ego. It can go on hurting others, it doesn't feel anything. And the superego which goes on receiving all the hurts and always complaining about it. So it is for you to realize that you are the one who is breaking the collectivity. First of all, we had horrible leaders here. That's how our collectivity was very poor. But now we are getting soberer people, better people. Also for Melbourne, I'm thinking of getting somebody elderly for you to be the leader, because I think Greg is full with responsibility. So I thought of Enzo and I asked him and he has agreed. So now in Melbourne, we'll have somebody staying in the ashram who is a retired man, who will look after you, he'll do everything that is possible to look after the collectivity of Melbourne. But you have to know that I have one connection with you through your leader. That doesn't mean you cannot connect to me. Like supposing there's a pin and you put the pin to me, immediately my hand will go off. Means there's a reflex action also. But mostly everything is reported to the brain. In the same way, everything should be reported to the brain. But from the very beginning, if you develop a kind of a criticizing attitude towards your leader, then it becomes very difficult for the leader as well as for you. First, you should not criticize. Don't use your brain for criticism. Already criticism has been too much in the West. I mean, they have got now technique of criticizing. All the art is finished because of the critics. The artists are afraid to show their paintings. Artists are afraid to show their creations because they will be criticized. Now the only thing that is left are critics, critics, critics. And the critics are criticizing critics. That's all. There's no creativity, nothing. So try to appreciate everything. Children are producing pictures, paintings anyway. They make sometimes my face is very funny when they draw. Not the children, even grown-ups. Doesn't matter. I appreciate it. It's very good, wonderful, very nice. To encourage that person. So criticism should go out of our mind, but appreciation should be practiced. Appreciation of others' children, appreciation of other people is very important. But that doesn't mean that you appreciate all others and torture your wife or torture your husband. That also is an imbalance. First responsibility is your family, but you should appreciate others. And this comes when you have no jealousies about anyone. This jealousy, I don't know from where it comes. I don't know this quality of jealousy, why there is jealousy. So also if you have jealousy, you have to use it for the right purpose. And what is the right purpose is that you should be jealous of a person who is spiritually higher than you. And you practice it, that you become better. If jealousy is for competition, then you compete with a person who is more compassionate, more loving, more sacrificing, more patient. So this competition becomes a very healthy competition and the collectivity becomes very nourished. Now try to feel that you are all part and parcel of one personality. Try to understand this and practice this. This will help you a lot. Little things like buying a little present for someone. You see something, oh, this will be very nice for this purpose. We have officially decided that the men should not give presents to women and women should not give presents to men. But if she is your sister, Rakhi's sister, you can give, and the Rakhi sister can give to the brother. But otherwise, one should not do that. We have done it because I have seen it creates problems. But that doesn't mean you hate women or hate men. But a distance has to be maintained of purity. Till you become completely innocent, is better is to keep that distance. This purity is to be practiced. And this practice of purity is that you try to develop your innocent feelings towards others. In innocence, everything comes. Everything comes in innocence. If you are innocent, you will immediately become a very good surgeon. But it has so many facets. Like the other day, there was one girl, she was fighting for getting some sort of a sweet. And they were distributing the prasads. So I gave her one of the small plates. I said, you distribute. Immediately she forgot what she wanted. She started distributing very sweetly with little hands the prasad to everyone, very sweetly. So this has to be practiced from childhood. With your children, you have to tell them, all right, let's do these things. Distribute this to people. Go and put kumkum on their heads. They may not do it well, but doesn't matter. They will learn how to meet others, how to talk to them, how to be with others. Now the worst enemy of collectivity is aggressiveness. Some people are basically aggressive. Their style of talking is extremely aggressive. The way they say things is aggressive. Maybe because anything. Maybe they are better educated. Maybe they come from a very aggressive family. Maybe they are having a kind of a superiority complex or an inferiority complex or a sense of insecurity. Or maybe they are possessed. They try to dominate and show their very strong feelings towards people of superiority. They may be inferior. It's not necessary, but they do. And this is something is to be curbed. So what you have to practice here is humility. Try to be humble. There was a joke like this, that one gentleman was going on the staircase and another was coming from the top. So this gentleman who is going up there said to the another that please move. So he said, I don't move for fools. The person who was climbing up, he said, but I do. And he moved out. That's how the humility works. You have to be humble in your approach to others. I mean, English language is outwardly very humble. Like you must say please, you must say thank you 10 times, please, 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 thank you, thank you, thank you. But not in the heart. Like supposing somebody doesn't say thank you, the another person may even beat you. Why didn't you say thank you to me? This is not humility. Humility is that in no way you try to aggress others. And if others are aggressive, you accept it as a childish thing, as a stupid thing, as a foolish thing, has no meaning. Because you are so powerful, you can bear it. That is humility which you have to practice. And all these qualities, if you have, you will really be surprised that you will lose your selfishness. Your selfishness will start dropping out. Because selfishness, how ugly it is, you start realizing very soon when you become generous. So you practice your generosity. You are all willing to spend a lot of money on me, I know. Want to give me presents, I've stopped it now. That individually you cannot give me any presents or anything. But generosity is a general term. Generosity of kindness, generosity of compassion, generosity of patience, and generosity of material things. If I see something immediately, I think, oh, I should take this because I can give it to this lady or to this gentleman, this thing, or I could give it to this purpose or for this organization or for this kind of a work we are doing. Immediately it comes to me. You'll be surprised that if I'm in the market and if I'm thirsty, I don't even think that I should go and buy some soft drink for myself. Doesn't come into mind. Even I have never opened my fridge in my lifetime. You'll be surprised. But for others, I'll run about, I'll cook for them. But supposing I'm in the house and there's no cook, I'll not cook for myself, it's all right. If there's nobody in the house, say my husband is not there, I may not eat for 2-3 days. And then servant will complain to my husband. Then I remember, really, I didn't eat any food, I didn't know. If I'm eating it, I'm just eating because he's there, so I have to eat with him. I never used to take tea, but because he's so much fond of tea, I started. So I keep the practice so that I should not give it the practice up. Later on, it will be difficult. It's just adjusting your two selves to others. It's not difficult. Few things here and there that pleases. You should. There's no harm in trying to please. But it's not only for the wife to do it, even the husband has to do something to please the wife. It's not only between husband and wife, between children and you, between the whole family of Sahaja Yoga, it should be such that we should adjust. So practice your adjustments. As you have to adjust your cameras. If you don't adjust the camera, you do not get the right picture. In the same way, and listen to you adjust yourself to the whole atmosphere, to a person, you cannot get the real picture. And then you start fighting with that. It is actually the fight has to be within yourself. It's quite a long story. I mean, as far as I know human beings and the problems of collectivity. And certain problems are being solved now. I am happy about it. That people are not falling in love. I mean, they are not falling and having a bump on their heads. But it's better now. They're taking it easy, thinking it over, and are marrying a person for marriage sake and not for falling in love. If something very great is happening, because that will give you purification of mind, and a mind which doesn't hover over nonsensical things. So, as I said, practice all these things and your collectivity will be beautiful. And the best is to practice your meditation together. In Delhi, we have started an ashram. Every morning I find people coming, sitting together to meditate. It's like a temple, it's like a church. They come there and so many of them are sitting and meditating together. Meditating together is the best way to feel the collectivity. You can meditate at home, of course, you have to cleanse it for your depth, but also you must meditate together. And when you meditate together, then the strength that you have strengthens others, and the strength of the whole collectivity improves so much. We are meditating together is a very big thing. Everyone has to understand that whenever you get time, you find out in the morning times, for example, we'll go to the ashram and meditate. Say Sunday morning, we'll just go and meditate in the ashram. Just for meditation you have to come. Meditate and go away. Because I reside in this ashram. I am here. So leave your homes, come here and meditate. Meditation will help you a lot. Wherever you are together, I am with you. But when you are away from each other, I am not with you. Only in difficulties, when you are pushed into some places where I am not there, where you think I am not there, I am there. But if you deliberately are keeping out of collectivity, I am not with you. So try to grow your collectivity, otherwise you cannot go deep into your own depths. You cannot become a great Sajogi. You cannot really be called a Sajogi. Those who have a sense of collectivity can only become that. So we have before us in Melbourne so many people. And when the quantity increases, the quality should not fall down. And the quality of collectivity has to be very strong by having very strong bonds. I like when you praise someone. Normally, I have seen whenever I am anywhere, people only talk about people who are negative. Nobody talks about positive people. So I don't know about them. Mostly I know who are negative. So I would love to know about people who are very positive, who are great, who are doing good things, and forget about the negative. They'll drop out in any way. So best thing is to tell about the people who are positive, who are doing good work, who are real Sajogis. I bless you all in Melbourne that you have a beautiful collectivity and enjoy yourself, and every meeting should be a festival for you and an enjoyment. May God bless you.